I was on a plane to Dunedin last month, and I was sitting next to a man I hadn't met before. He told me about how he built barges for a living, and what that entailed. We talked about his job for a while, and then he asked me about what I did. So I explained that I was a student at the University of Otago, and that I studied design. He asked, "What type of design?" And I said, "Strategic design." "So what's strategic design?" he asked. I attempted to answer his question, but found it tremendously difficult. This has happened on other occasions too, whether it's in a cafe catching up with old friends who want to know about the course I'm taking at university, or at a cocktail party with important guests. All of them have a conception of what design is, and strategic design certainly isn't part of that. Their conception is really a misconception. Ordinary people I've talked to don't know what strategic design is, but they are curious to find out. And so am I. The reason I find strategic design hard to explain is because it's hard to understand. But understanding strategic design is pertinent if I want to share its methods and value with others, and in turn, correct their misconceptions about design. This realization inspired my current research. I want to know if strategic design frameworks can be visualized consistently and applied to an Air New Zealand context to demonstrate the methods and value of strategic design. My first objective is to generate an understanding of the strategic design field. Strategic design draws from many disciplines and also areas within design. So it's important to have a grasp of this interconnected view of contributing factors. My second objective is to identify 4 leading strategic design frameworks. I'll select frameworks which take different perspectives on strategic design. Some of the leaders in the field are David Kelly, Roberto Viganti, and Charles Owen. Each of these 3 leaders have different perspectives on strategic design. My third objective is to consistently visualize those frameworks. Often there are commonalities between existing strategic design frameworks, but they're hard to see when the frameworks use different terminology and visualizations. So by creating some consistency, it may be easier to see the similarities and differences between frameworks. I'll pick a communication designer and apply their techniques to visualize the frameworks. My fourth objective is to apply the frameworks to an Air New Zealand waste management context. This will let me judge the value of strategic design in a commercial context. So by the end of 2011, I'll hopefully be able to understand strategic design, visualize it, explain it, and share its value with designers and non-designers alike. I'll have travelled full circle from my realisation about communicating strategic design that I had on an Air New Zealand plane last month to the application of strategic design frameworks for Air New Zealand.